Well, hey, New Hills Church family, I just want to thank you guys for taking a minute to check out this video. And I want you to know I'm actually sending this with the full support and backing of our board and leadership here at the church. And we just really thought this video would help equip our church to navigate some of the dynamics happening in our culture right now, and particularly in our state. And it was actually just this last fall, we spent 8 weeks as a church in a series called Closing the Gap, where we talked about the role of government and our relationship with it. And if you missed it, I would really encourage you to check that out. I got a link in the description. But one of the things we talked about there was the fact that God is the one who actually instituted government, and that his heart was that government would actually help facilitate human flourishing in this world. And so our default posture as Christians is actually to recognize and obey our governing authorities. But even though God is the one who has instituted government, that doesn't always mean that our governing authorities operate in a way that honors the heart and will of God. And when that happens, we as followers of Jesus have a responsibility to follow the truth of God even over the trends of culture. You know, the Bible tells us to stand firm in the faith. And there are some things that we just cannot compromise, even if they contradict our surrounding cultural moment. And we actually find ourselves in that situation right now here in our own state. The Senate here in Colorado is going to be voting on two particular bills in the coming days, HB 1312 and HB 1309. There's a third, SB 25-183, that has been sent to the governor for signing already. And what these bills would do is give the state of Colorado the ability to use legal action against parents for misgendering or even dead naming their children, even if it's just an accusation or an allegation. This could even include the loss of custody. Now, it's not just parents, this also includes schools. And not even just schools, there is actually no provision in any of these bills that would give any faith organizations the opportunity to opt out. So parents, schools, and even churches could be opened to legal action and lawsuits if they do not abide by these new potential laws. Now, I know there are so many different things a church can address and speak to, and so why are we speaking to this one particular issue? Well, there's a couple reasons. First off, this is happening in Colorado right now. So this is our state, everybody. This is where God has called us to live. These are the people God has called us to serve. It's right in our backyard, so we should care about what's going on in our home. But also, this is something that could have a massive impact on the kids of Colorado. And if you've been around New Hills for any length of time, you should know how passionate we are about the next generation. And we, as the people of God, have a responsibility to care for and even protect vulnerable groups of people. And that absolutely includes kids. And these laws are definitely not in the best interest of the kids in our state. And so when those in authority push things that go against the heart and will of God, we have to stand firm. There's a line that I use with our staff, maybe this would help you too. We talk about how we need to have courageous clarity with Christ-like compassion. It's both. We have to have grace and truth. We need to take a stand with love. And this is not even just a political issue in our minds. This is actually deeply personal. You know, we have families in our church right now who are navigating gender dysphoria with their own children. And for the families going on that journey right now, you need to know our church is for you. We love you guys. We are behind you, and we are committed to walking with you on this entire journey. But let me put a challenge out to our church right now. The first thing I want to challenge our church with is that we would educate ourselves. Guys, we need to be informed. Okay, the cultural moment we're in requires that we not be ignorant of the things happening around us. And so I actually have some links to the bills so you can get some more information right there in the video description. I also have a link to a book that speaks to this topic from a biblical perspective. I hope that can help you as well. A lot of us in the church, you have kids. They're in the schools. A lot of us, you guys are teachers and administrators. We got to know what's going on. So let's be informed, everybody. But secondly, I want to challenge our church. Let's be praying, everybody. We drastically underestimate the power of prayer. And actually, the Bible calls us to pray for those who are in positions of authority. So we need to be praying for the political leadership in our state. We need to be praying that God moves in their hearts. And we need to be praying that God's will would prevail here in Colorado. But the third challenge I want to make to our church is to actually engage. There are times when Christians need to use their voice and their influence, and we have an opportunity here to speak up for the kids in our state who cannot speak for themselves. And so there may be people in your life that you just need to share this with and have some conversations about, people who just need to be in the know. But also, we have the emails of the senators from Colorado connected to this right in the video description. And I would encourage you to find your senator and email them and let them know the implications of this bill and what it would mean for our churches and our kids and our schools. They need to hear from us, and it can make a much greater impact than you guys even realize. So church, let's do some stuff. Let's make some moves. But I really want you guys to know the heart of this video. The heart of this video is not to push partisan politics, everybody. You know, New Hills does not have a favorite political party. We do not have a favorite politician. We have one single favorite person, and his name is Jesus. He is our King of Kings. He is our Lord of Lords. He is the only one we give our ultimate allegiance to. And we want to be people who love God. We want to be a people who love our neighbors well. We want to be a church that serves Colorado well, and we want to be a church that cares about the kids of Colorado and helps create an environment where they can flourish and thrive. So New Hills, I love you guys. I am so grateful to be on this sometimes messy journey that we are on together of navigating this world. And I'm just praying that God moves, and I hope to see you all soon.